Live breaking news from News Channel 3.
Welcome back, everybody. You are watching live coverage of the riot that's going on right now in Isla Vista. This started probably about 9:30 tonight. There was a stabbing actually about 8 o'clock, and then there was law enforcement was called out to another incident around 9:30. Bottles and rocks were thrown at that. I think it was a campus police officer.
Yes,
I can't
hear
him. What's the injury?
UC PD officer was hit with either a bottle or a brick, causing an injury there. That was the first one. The second head injury from a Lompoc police officer. Not sure exactly what he was, how that happened there. And then a third injury of a hand from a Santa Barbara County Sheriff's deputy. Those are the only ones we know of.
And we don't know their conditions at this point either.
Do not know their conditions.
No. Let's throw it out to Paul Mahalik. He's one of our videographers for News Channel 3. Paul, what are you seeing right now?
Right now, I'm seeing that the police vehicle that is at the end of Camino del Sur has not moved for a very long time. The crowd has like ebbed and flowed, and at this point, they're starting to move back in again.
Now, Paul Mahalik, a News Channel 3 videographer, there is a bit of a delay, about a 5 to 7 second delay because of our live unit there. So he is with us. Now, Paul, we haven't seen as much smoke right now from the tear gas. Is that still being used out there?
Copy. No, I don't think tear gas has been thrown in a while now, and that's probably why the crowd is moving back in. The police and the sheriffs and the law enforcement at the end of the road seem to be waiting for something. They have not moved in a really long time, and the street is now clear, the air is now clear, and the crowd of Deltopians is starting to move back towards the police vehicle.
So, Paul, the law enforcement officers you see, does it look like like SWAT team? Are they in their full gear as if they're preparing for a riot?
I have not seen anybody in any kind of riot gear, but I don't, like a couple of people have said before, the lights from this vehicle are shining right at the crowd, and you really can't see what's going on behind them. I've seen some officers moving back and forth behind that vehicle, but I wasn't able to see I have not seen anybody in riot gear.
Now, Paul, is there a clear distinction between where the people are who are doing this civil unrest and the law enforcement officers? Is there kind of a divide, or are there law enforcement officers where you are, you're on top of the News Channel 3 vehicle right now? Are there law enforcement officers there, or are you on your own?
I'm all by myself on top of the news vehicle here. There doesn't seem to be any law enforcement behind me at all. And there's about I would say about a 25 or 30-foot gap, maybe twice that, between the crowd of students and partiers and the SWAT vehicle.
And Paul, you've been out there for a long time tonight. Is it a small group that's charging everybody up and getting everybody all riled up?
It's really hard to tell. It seems not. There seem to be several instigators in the front, but the crowd is pretty together.
And again, we do have a delay with Paul right now out on the corner of Trigo and Camino del Sur. A bit of a delay. That's why you're hearing that pause between our questions and Paul's response. The crowd is gathering a little bit. We did see that spotlight move a little bit from the vehicle, the law enforcement vehicle. We're seeing more cars pull around, possibly leaving the area. We did see a taxi a little bit ago. But right now it seems calm. Paul, does it seem a lot more calm than it was about an hour ago? Not as much chanting and yelling?
It's definitely more calm than an hour ago, but every time the tear gas floats away, the crowd moves back in, and the officers have thrown some more tear gas grenades or something to back them up. Right now, it seems pretty quiet, but there aren't a lot of people leaving.
Paul, what were they chanting about an hour ago when they were all together? What were some of the things they were chanting?
This is a typical
You know, I didn't hear a lot of distinctive chants, but at one point they were chanting USA, USA.
It's kind of strange to be chanting something like that in Isla Vista. Derek Olson, another videographer out there, said he couldn't say some of the things. I'm assuming they're expletives.
Sure.
To law enforcement officers out there. We've seen a car move to the right of the screen there. It looks like a sheriff's SUV moving there. More people are walking up into that area right now. The light seems to get brighter from that spotlight from the vehicle there.
I think that light's being aimed right at our camera, I think, is what it is.
I hope I'm doing all right.
Paul,
There
what
it is.
can you tell us right now? Is the vehicle moving forward at all? The law enforcement vehicle?
nothing's happening.
To the best of my knowledge, it has not moved forward an inch since I arrived on the scene.
Have you seen any injuries? We've heard about hospital personnel showing up at the hospitals being called in early for their shifts tonight to deal with, I guess, either people who have been showing up at the hospital or maybe expected to have people show up at the hospital.
I have seen a lot of ambulances moving around IV. I've seen a number of the rioters come back and lift up their shirts and show me the bruises and cut skin from the rubber bullets. One of them showed me one of the rubber bullets. There's just been a small explosion up in front of the SWAT vehicle. I'm not sure where it came from or what it was, but yeah, I have seen several injuries, and it's not very safe out here.
Okay, Paul Mahalik, please stay on the line. We do have Derek Olson, another News Channel 3 videographer. Derek, where are you at right now?
I am on the same block as Paul is, but I'm closer to the stop signs where the confrontation is actually at its head right now.
What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
You know, the people who are standing here, they seem to be pretty committed to staying here right now. A lot of people have left, but I mean, a lot more people have come in as the other ones have been leaving. It's you know, stuff flying in the air, and it definitely will echo what Paul said. It's not a safe place. In fact, it looks like there's people coming through right now. In fact, yeah, we're getting shot at right now. I'm getting shot at by pepper balls and rubber bullets. The police have really come in full force, and I'm definitely not in a safe place right now.
Okay, Derek, why don't you move away from that area? We do not want you getting injured.
All right, all right. Thank you. I'll check in later.
Okay. Thanks, Derek. As you can see, that
Be safe.
Oh, okay,
There's
we're
more.
seeing more. This might be the approach that the law enforcement officers were waiting for, and I see one person standing out there still.
And he's the same guy who's been there the whole time.
Same guy. And there was another person right there, possibly with, and now we can't see anything because of the smoke. This is tear gas. We can't see anything right now.
This is going to affect our videographer here. I think
our live shot is down. Our videographer Paul Mahalik and Derek Olson hopefully are getting out of there right now, because since they are there in the thick of it, they are probably feeling those effects.
Yes.
Very severely. This is video from about 10:45 today. What we can tell you is that those stop signs were being thrown into a minivan. Those people standing on the minivan, breaking the windows. There's a mattress being thrown around there, and that was eventually lit on fire.
Again, this is about an hour and a half ago in the same intersection you just saw with all the tear gas. At this point, when the crowd started getting out of control, county fire, emergency personnel, paramedics were all told just to get out of the area.